Okay, SNC podcast episode 44. Yes, 44. Yeah, it's 44. If it's not, then whatever. We have.
You can edit that later.
Yeah, I had to do that one time. It was like super annoying. Who are you and what do you do?
My name is Kyrun Silva. I am from Taurus Comics. I am a writer, artist, letter art sometimes. I have to. I do color work sometimes. I just create comics.
Sweet.
Created 9 comics so far, 3 different series.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you did Ruby.
Yep.
Can't even.
There's 1 issue of that, 2 issues of Saw the Lightning Wielder, and 6 issues of Shaman's Destiny. But Shaman's Destiny is on Sierra Nova's website. You want to check it out.
Yeah, except we're currently under construction. But yeah. But by the time this is out, it hopefully won't be anymore.
Okay.
And I'm still trying to get a physical web store for like comics on there. That's like my one goal this entire
Are you trying to do just digital?
Literally trying to print like one-off copies for like anyone that wants a copy of whatever, and then that creator gets paid for. Yeah, that's. Okay. I don't know why he can't figure that out.
Are you guys gonna print it yourself?
We would get it printed somehow for.
Okay. Hey.
Like yeah, so let's say like someone's like, oh, I want to buy like Shaman's Destiny or whatever, and then they just go through however it's gonna get printed. There's like a way that we could do it, and I could write all the options you can do on like whatever printer we pick. So, I Ready Comics, because I actually wrote everything down from that website. They're not well known compared to like Kablam or anything. Mm-hmm. And then people just like pick what options they want, and then I have to manually like do that again. I could do that, but like I'm trying to save time.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of hassle for you.
Yeah, and
especially as the orders start coming through. So.
Yeah, so because I even know that like some of the people that are on there that have comics, they want to print them, and I was like, so I was also thinking of doing a Kickstarter, maybe next year, to just get a bunch of those printed somehow. So
okay,
no idea. I'll figure it out.
Sounds like you have plans though, so I hope that'll work out.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! Hold on. I don't know why my computer decided to bring up Microsoft Word all of a sudden.
Is that what you write on, or?
Yeah. Word 2007. It still works.
I use Google Docs just because I can use it at work too. So.
I thought about switching over to Google Docs. It's just I have so much already incorporated into Microsoft. I'm like, it's so much of a hassle at this point.
Yeah.
I've been slowly talking to creators who say, yeah, I use Google Docs or other platforms that are automatically transfer over. I'm like, I'm lazy. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, there was like some guy that had us on a podcast like last weekend or whatever, and he was like, oh, like, yeah, what's like software you use to write? And I'm like, Google Docs? Like, didn't know there was any specific software that someone uses. And he's like, oh, like I've heard like Final Script or whatever. And I was like, oh, I guess. Yeah, I think Matt, the guy that has Marbles the Cat, actually uses that, I think.
I've heard you as Final Script. I used to use Celtics. I don't know if you've heard of that one. It's a very old program, but it was created for comic book scripting, but you also could do theater scripts, like scripts for plays and things like that. And it formatted it exactly for the type of program that you needed. So like you write it down and it automatically formats it. So like if you have like a character, it automatically you could just choose a character and it inputs their information in for you. It's pretty cool.
And then there was I did Fiverr like last year or like 2 years ago or something. I was doing Fiverr a little bit, and just to write other people's stuff. And one guy was like awesome because he just kept giving me work. It was like $15 or whatever, because I was like super cheap because I didn't know what to charge.
Okay.
And
were you writing like scripts for them, or?
I was writing scripts, but like this one guy just wanted like 10 pages, and he's like, yeah, can you like give me like a 10-page script for this? And he gave me a simple plot, and I was like, okay. And I did it, and it's super quick to do. And he's like, wow, that was really fast. And I was like, yeah.
You're like, yeah, it was. Yeah.
Then someone wanted me to do their screenplay or something, and that was like 60 pages, and I was like, okay. I had to turn his screenplay into a comic book.
Wow. Wait,
Yep.
the screenplay was 60 pages originally?
Yeah,
What
it
you
was
turned
like
it into was 60 pages.
when I turned it into, it was like 60 something pages, and I was like,
Oh, nice.
oh my god, yeah. It was some movie called like Hope Lake. It's like a horror. It's like Swamp Thing kind of actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
that's
yeah, basically like kind of what it was. Then one guy messaged me and he's like, oh, before I hire you, I want to see how you write a script. And I was like, okay. Yeah. And he's like, this is not how you write a comic script. And I was like, there's no wrong way to write one, but okay. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna. I'm like, I'm not forcing you to do anything. You'd walk away right now and I could give two shits. I don't care. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen like some of like Mark Waid and things like people like that have a certain format, which I don't want to say it's universal. It seems like the common format, but I mean, as long as you can convey the story in a way that artists can understand it, who cares?
Yeah. Yeah. Like the reason we're remastering the first issue of the Seer Chronicles is because what the artist for that got was mostly a storyboard, so like that was on my like end of my mistake. It wasn't completely broken down and edited all the way. Like Dylan should have looked at it or something first, but we didn't do that, and now he did that, so it's so much better.
But it sounds like you did more of like the Marvel method before, where you just said, hey, this is a general idea of what we want.
Yeah.
And then you guys probably scripted afterwards.
Yeah, and then like people that read it were like, wow, you're really good at writing. And I was like, sure. Thanks.
Hey, Stan Lee was a legend, and you know, he did that with almost every artist he worked with. So
yeah, and then but this way is it's like so much better.
Yeah,
it's
I do full scripts on that.
Yeah.
On all my books, I do full scripts, and especially if I'm working with another artist, because I want to make sure my idea is on the page the way I want it.
Yeah, it was a full script. It was just like it turned into only 25 pages originally, like that part, and now it's like going to be 45 pages.
Wow.
That's just issue 1. Yeah. And I'm like, you guys are basically going to get a graphic novel, and then you're going to get another comic with that. I was like, and then if we get our stretch goal, then you're going to get another comic. And then if we get the second stretch goal, which I really, 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 really want, then that's ink 2. So there's a lot of comics. Yeah. Because I wanted to put 4 comics out this year. Well, I was trying to only put 3 out. And then Travis was like, yeah, I can't understand your comic because it like the transitioning is weird. I was like, yeah, that was Ricardo's fault. And he's like, oh. And I was like, yeah,
Ricardo?
he was the artist at the time. And
okay.
he didn't add pages from the script, so that's one of the reasons like it fell flat, like, but people still think it was good. And I was like, oh, okay. And like, well, the new version's like way better, so I can't wait.
So, I mean, at least you're learning from the mistakes that you made, which we all make mistakes the first couple of books.
Yeah, and like the first issue, Dylan did the lettering, and there was a letterer that came to me, Chris Johnson, and he's like, yeah, like I could be your letterer, and I was like, I don't have money right now, and he's like, okay, you'll be sorry, and then like I gave it to like 30 people or something, and they liked it, except my friend that has a blog called Effective Nerd, he made fun of the lettering, but like in a professional way. And he's like, yeah, you should probably change the lettering. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that now. So then I got Jerome.
Lettering's a thing that people don't really think about a lot. I mean, it's one of the things that if you do it wrong, you notice it right away.
Yeah.
But if you get somebody that's right, you don't notice it because it's what you expect it to be. But that one time you get it wrong, you're like, this is bad.
Yeah, well, once I compared what Dylan did, which he did in Photoshop, and like other people do it in Photoshop, because Matt Knowles actually says like, oh yeah, like I do it in Photoshop. And I was like, oh, but like the bubbles were so big and there was so much like everywhere, and then like when Jerome did it, it was just like, that's better.
Yeah.
We're gonna just have you do it.
Oh yeah. Like the first 6 issues of Shaman's Destiny, I did that all lettering myself, and I was like, yeah, it's readable. You know, all the you can read it. The bubbles are there. It's, you know, grammatically correct.
Yeah.
What else do I need? And then on Saw the Lightning Welder, I got Nikki Powers to do it. And that first page, she came back to me. I was like, oh wow, this is a lot harder than I could have done it. And it was like, it's not that expensive to get a good letterer.
Yeah, they're not. Like I was thinking like, oh, this is gonna be another like $30 a page or something, and then he's like $10. I think it was 10 in the beginning, and now it's 12. Which, oh no. And he said 30, and I believed him because I like forgot what the rate was or whatever. And like I was asking him, I was like, oh, can I finally get lettering done for the first 4 pages? He's like, yeah, $30. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, wait, no. And I was like, oh. He's like, yeah, I'm not like professional. I don't work for Marvel or anything yet. And I was like,
you don't know.
I forgot.
And I think even the Marvel rates aren't really that high for letterers.
Yeah,
because
I didn't even know it was a job, honestly. When I got into all of this, I was like, wait, you need a colorist? Like, I didn't know that was a thing. And
so you decided it all magically appeared?
I thought one person did everything. That's the only thing I thought. Yep. Okay. And then I was like, oh, there's all these people that do these jobs. That's cool.
You're all like, that's more money.
That is a lot more money. Yeah, because my brother, when he read the first ink last year, he's like, so where's the second one? I was like, do you have money? And he's like, why? And I was like, it costs a couple $1,000s and stuff to make comics, and my Kickstarters don't even pay, like I pay out of my own paychecks to the artist and anyone else that I have to pay. But I want to change that because I want to try to do this full time like a year and a half from now. So yeah, we might not do Kickstarter at some point, or there's like a new thing that I found. Someone tagged me in it. It's called like indiecrowdfund.com, and it's like it's only for indie comics, and it's like it's just like Kickstarter, but you're connected to retailers. So you're connected to like comic book shops. Yeah. Huh. And I watched the like 4-minute video or whatever it was for that, and I was like, maybe. So I might do that.
Anything that's going to get your book into retailer, that's the big goal right now.
Yeah, and I actually got one. There's this girl that I'm friends with on Facebook or whatever, and she was going to be in a band that I never had, or something like that. And I sent the Kickstarter link to her, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm actually opening a comic book in like game store next year in the spring." I was like, "Oh, hey, that's cool." And she's like, "I want your comics to be in there." I'm like, "Do you want my comics, or do you want like everybody's comics that I know?" And she's like, "Oh, that." And I was like, "So anybody that I know, I can give them your info?" And she's like, "Yep." And I was like, "Fuck yeah."
So you know Kyrun Silva?
Well, you're on our website, so technically. So anyone that's on our website gets like first dibs of like, oh, well, there's like 50-something people or something that I have, which is insane that I have that many people. And yeah, so all of those people are definitely first on like getting into stores. And then there's this new guy that is coming on that does this comic called Laser Man. He's it's like the first Indian superhero or something.
Indian, Native American Indian, or Indian?
No, like India. No, like Indian.
Okay, because Stan Lee created an Indian superhero like a few years. Yeah.
Well,
Chakra.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Maybe he didn't know that. Yeah. So next time I talk to him, be like, "Hey, guess what? Now it's the second one." Yeah, because he's like really into Marvel and everything too, and I'm guessing he didn't know that. So.
Well, I don't think that was part of Marvel at the time. That was when Stan was on his own for POW Entertainment.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this was like early or mid 2000s when they first came out.
Well, his character sounds cool and everything, but like, yeah, So
I'm assuming it has something to do with lasers.
yeah, it comes out of the head, I think, where
Okay.
the whatever that thing is that Indian
That-
people. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Oh,
I
the
think
third
that's
eye
where.
type
Yeah,
of deal.
yeah, I think that's where it comes out. I don't really know, but he, I've seen photos and everything on Instagram. Like, oh, that's awesome. And then we talked on Zoom for like 3 hours, and I'm like, okay, because that's now what we do. Any new people that come on, we have to like have a video conversation with them, so they know like everything.
Okay.
So see if like they're a good fit. Like we are very easygoing, but um, there's things that happened like a while ago that we got rid of 2 people, and one person just left, and the other guy was stupid, so we got rid of him. Um,
Wow.
yeah, it was all about
Is this like a big blow up situation or?
not really because like nobody really knew about it. Just because like
Okay.
I am not political or anything, and this 20-year-old kid was like, cancel Sierra Nova Comics, and I was like, okay.
Wow.
He was trying to do that because we didn't do the Blackout Tuesday thing, just because I didn't know if we should have done it or not. As a business, my whole
Fair enough.
views are different than Dylan's, and I'm not gonna whatever. So we didn't do that, and then there's like creators in our group message that we have on Instagram. Like, I think I didn't add you in there, or you are in there. I don't know, but like, there's like, it can only hold like 20 something people on
Okay.
Instagram. So like, I can't even have everybody that's on our website anyway.
I think you did add me to that, and then that was when I was like away from social media.
Yeah.
When I came back, yeah, because I told you I came back. I was like, I am not reading through all these messages.
Yeah. And it was like probably during that or something. It was around June or May or something like that. Whenever that happened, the Blackout Tuesday thing, and I was like I wouldn't care to do it or not. And Dylan's like, no, no. I was like, okay, whatever. And then that kid like made a whole YouTube video about like how we're racist. And I'm like, yep, definitely racist.
All right.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Make a YouTube video of that. I mean, that's stupid. I mean, if you don't want to do it,
But
that's fine.
he did it all because like first he was coming out with like first he was talking about, oh, you didn't do the Blackout Tuesday thing, or you're not doing it. And then I was like, I don't get involved in politics. It was not politics. Everything is put into politics. Yeah.
Nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I was like, I'm not going to talk about this. Then Dylan had to like send videos to the group of like explaining why we're not doing it. And then everybody else understood besides him and this other guy that was from like the UK. And then he's like, oh, well, like he left on better terms. But this kid that was like this 20-year-old like kid from like Philadelphia, he put more work into his YouTube video, like 14 16-minute video, than he did ever promoting his comic on our website. And I've promoted this comic too, and it's like we do free promotion all the time. Like you,
Yeah.
like it's your fault your comic isn't getting read.
Oh God! Now I want to go search YouTube and find this video.
I had Luke Stone on a previous episode that I did yesterday is part of the like 5 episodes or whatever that I recorded, and I told him about that, and he searched it. And he's like, just the description alone is, he hates you guys. And I was like, yeah, it's hilarious.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna search it after we do this interview, but yeah, that I'm already dreading what I'm gonna find, honestly.
Yeah. And then it's funny because one of the people is like, as his witnesses, is commenting in the YouTube chat, like the comment section, against the video. He's against everything the video is saying. Yeah. And that guy was, we got rid of him on our website. He was the first person to go because I just said, like, I can't draw for shit. This is literally what I said to him. I can't draw at all. Can barely draw a cube, but your art is like very not the greatest. So like if you can come back next year and then like if you have improved, like we'll talk about it. Just because like your, in like the nicest way possible, your comics are like the eyesore on the website. Like everybody else has, yeah, like if people see like all his comics, and then I was just like, and then he like used to accuse people of saying that he's getting sued by DC and stuff. I'm like, no one knows who you are. Yeah, because he has like comic characters that are very close to, like, he did have a comic that was on our website. I had to take it down because, like, once I actually read it, it was just like the Justice League, just exactly. Besides the names being a little different, and I was like, I get like there's almost no original idea anymore, but
did his
like,
character have like a name of Maximum at all by chance, or?
I don't remember.
Because I got into it with somebody on Facebook because I created a character called Maximum Man, and he had something close to it, and he's like, "I'm going to sue you." And I hadn't even created a comic yet. I just had like a sketch done by an artist, and he's like, "I'm going to sue you," blah blah blah. And I was like, "All right, dude." And I looked up his character's name, and DC already actually had produced a character with the same name as his back in the '90s. And I was like, "Okay."
Oh, okay. Yeah, I try to look up characters if, like, I think someone, like, I was gonna have a character called, like, the Dove or something, like, later down the line. That's a character. Hawk, that's a character. And I was like,
Hawk and Dove.
Yeah, that's literally what I was gonna do. But I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I don't think you really want to do that. DC will come for you for that one.
Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm gonna do that. But yeah, he did like a comic for The Crow, but like it's very bad. But I can say the name. It's not like he watches or listens to this video, and there's no way someone's gonna. Sigil Comics. I don't know if you ever like saw or heard of them. It's him.
Okay.
That's another reason I got. He was very like negative all the time, and we're completely opposite of that. And he was saying, obviously, like the whole getting sued by other companies, like that they don't even know who he is, and he's saying like we as like there's other people involved. There's just him. It's just him, and I think he's like got a disorder or something. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna talk about that, but something's wrong there. And then other people commented in that Instagram group and like, yeah, I thought he was gonna leave like a long time ago, just because like he wasn't following the rules at all. And I was like, if you have an idea, put it in a Google Doc. I literally explained how to do it. Put it in a Google Doc and send the link to the group so people don't have to get 20 messages of whatever your idea is.
They could just open up the doc.
He then said, okay. And then when I kicked him and like blocked him and everything, and then I messaged him on Facebook to like answer why I did it, he was like, well, I don't even know how to do the Google Doc thing. And I was like, I explained it. But I explained it. And you could also have asked instead of kept posting. He was trying to make everybody else's comics inferior to his, which no. And he was like, there was one cool idea of like some kind of crossover thing, and I was like, I'm not. Like, we're gonna do a crossover, and there's other people in the group that want to do a crossover and stuff too. But like, that's years from now, so I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. So
drama.
Yeah,
always
that's
drama
the only
in comics.
Yeah, I'm like, just make stuff. Like, why do you have to complain about things?
It's just human nature to complain, and when things aren't going the way you want it, you're just gonna keep complaining about stuff. So.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to mention any of that stuff, but I was catching you up on everything that you missed. Now you're caught up.
Yes, I feel well informed. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and we're gonna like relaunch our website, and it's gonna have like, well, probably a little more comics than it had before, and like there's gonna be categories because last time there wasn't categories. So Dylan's adding that, and then the video game is going to be on the website, like not when it comes out, but
eventually,
not when the website comes out, but yeah, like if we get funded, then it'll be up there because that's where people are gonna get access to the video game.
Nice, man.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'm excited for you guys. You guys seem like you have a lot of things going on for you, so
yeah,
I'm hoping good things for you in the future. Honestly,
you too.
Thank you. I'm excited for me too. I mean, hopefully this Kickstarter, which launches in 14 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah. It's the 23rd.
Yeah.
23rd, yeah. I think I notified myself.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah. I did that for The Curse of Dracula too, I think. I did notify myself on his too.
Joseph Dewis.
Yeah. I never knew how to say his last name.
I don't even think I said it right. So
I was trying to say it yesterday, and I was like, I don't think I'm saying that right. I can't say Chuck's last name right, and like I'm technically French. And I can't. Pinot. Did I say it? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Joseph writes some killer stories. Like you were talking about Donner Lane earlier. And when I approached him about Donner Lane, I was like, I can write, but this is more in your field because he does like all the horror and grittiness in all his comics. I was like, this is probably more up your alley, so I want to work with you. And I pitched him the idea, and he's like, dude, this is really brilliant. I'll do it. And I was like, yes. And then he sent me a script for it. And then the first script I read off it, I was like, this is good. But I want you to ratchet it up. Like, I want it gritty. I want it dark. I want there to be blood. He's like, are you sure you don't usually produce comics like that? I was like, I know. That's why I want you to do this. I want you to do your style of comics. Because he does like this horror, not really horror, but I don't know how you want to pronounce it, thriller type. And I'm like, I want that. I want that thriller scenes. And he's like, okay, I got you. I wasn't going to write that way because I know what you usually produce, but I got you on this. And he, like within a week, he produced another script. And I was like, this is exactly what I wanted. And I was like, I was so disappointed when I didn't fund.
I really don't understand how it didn't fund.
I think it was bad timing. It was really close to the holidays, so people were already reserving their money for other things like Christmas gifts, things like that, Thanksgiving.
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Because like I asked the question before, is there a bad time to do a Kickstarter? And like I think somebody asked Rob Anderson about that, and he was like, no, there's like no bad time. You could do a Christmas comic around Christmas, and you did that, and so I'm like so confused about that.
I think it depends on your fan base, honestly. Like if I was Todd McFarlane and I busted out with another Spawn toy in December, yeah, that's gonna fund. Yeah. But when I'm like a mid-level creator or low tier creator like me, I really do have to pick my spots because I have to think about what everybody else has. You know? So can you fund it during Christmas? Yes, but it's going to be harder than some other times. And that's what I'm finding out. Like even some of the people I know that have been funding comics for years now, they say they have like a Bible in a way. They only start their comics on certain days of the week at certain times. You know, they market for a certain amount of time before it launches, like all these things, and they have this plan that they set out for each Kickstarter. So I'm trying to build that for myself since my audience is going to be different for everybody's.
Yeah, that's why we market 3 months. Well, we plan and market like 3 months before it actually comes out. So I tease like with little things, and I'm gonna start doing memes because I like your memes that you do. I don't know why I've never done that.
Get mine, dude. Sean Barbour. I don't know Sean. You know Sean.
Yeah, he's my inker.
Yeah. Dude, he has some memes that just kill me, and he like is up late like you are sometimes, just pussing out memes. I'm like, don't you guys sleep?
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I work overnight, so that's why I'm up. But I don't know why he's up. I see him, and it's like goes from like 1 a.m. my time, so it's midnight or whatever it is for him, and then it's getting there to like 6 a.m. and I'm still seeing him up. I'm like, is he going to sleep?
I don't think so. And I think that a lot of it's that his mental state, emotional state at times. And he's been going through some rough
about that. I was like, that sucks.
Yeah, he's been going through some rough times recently, and he's my boy. And it was cool. Like he's only like I think an hour and a half from where I am driving, but with everything that's going on, we haven't been able to meet up or anything. So it sort of sucks.
Yeah.
Like we had planned on doing a convention in October, which is by near where he is, and it just got canceled like last month.
We actually planned on doing conventions this year too. We have a whole plan. We actually have a plan, like if we're able to ever go to them ever again. Anyone that's on our platform, there's going to be a way for like them to promote not only their stuff but like platform stuff too. So other people's, whoever wants to print their comics, that they can like send them to whoever's going to a con, and then like that person, obviously that person gets more of a profit because they're the one that has the table set up, and then there's like other things that happen with that. It's pretty cool, but then we couldn't do it.
Damn COVID. At this point, you just gotta laugh at the whole situation. I mean, you can't.
I've been laughing from the beginning, but like then it got real because like my best friend's dad just got it, and I was just like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did I not know about this? Like, you didn't tell me that? And he's like, well, yeah, we don't. I'm like, I know we don't really like, talk things like that, but, and like I still joke about it because at work I like have to wear a mask. I work overnights. Don't come in contact with anybody. I'm in my own little room, and the only people I come in contact with are the two people that are armed there. I'm not armed, so I'm sitting in a room by myself and watching YouTube and
writing.
And writing. Or listening to music on YouTube in the background and then writing. And I have to wear a mask from my car to when we do this facial recognition thing inside.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane. And then fill out a sheet every day. And they'll be like, oh, did you go anywhere in the last 14 days? No, I was here for the last 14 days. And then, have you ever been in contact with anybody like that has that? I'm like, maybe. I don't know. No. And then like I fill the sheet out, and then don't wear the mask because like it's just us three, and we're with each other every day of the week. And then after work, I come home, I sleep. The only time I do sleep, because you're not the only one that has said that I don't sleep. And then
I don't think you do. I really don't.
and then I wake up, and then right now I do Kickstarter stuff. So like I'm trying to span that without not spamming it. But yeah, I think people got sick of it.
At least you're not getting flagged. I've noticed you're not suspended.
Not yet.
Okay.
Like I'm trying to. I actually haven't been sharing it the way that I was last year. So like when I shared Donner Lane, they're like, you're a robot. And I was like, okay, sure.
I'm really not a robot, but hey.
So then a month went by, and then they're like, you have privileges again. I'm like, I even reported to Facebook 3 different times, and they never answered me. They have terrible customer service. Yeah. And they're like, they never said anything. And I was like, you shouldn't like flag a business for promoting their work. That's insane. Yeah. I've said that, like I've said, one time said, fuck you, Facebook, in the review thing. And I was like, hey, Zuckerberg, suck it. And then I did something like that. I was like, you're so stupid for flagging something that's just because, and then somebody said, I get too much engagement on posts sometimes. And
isn't that the point?
Yeah. And I get so much engagement that they want me to pay for ads, which I have paid for ads before. So like, I'm not always going to pay to post something. That's insane.
I don't even find paying for ads is really that beneficial, honestly.
Oh, they do work when they are done the right way. Like we're going to do one for our Kickstarter because of the last 10 days, and that was like our plan, like when it hits 10 days. So I'm trying to get to $3,000 at least, and we're only like 218 away. And I know like the last couple days, people magically appear again, which I don't know how or why, but that happens.
Well, people get that notification that it's about to end.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like the last 48 hours, they get an email saying, hey, you're looking at this Kickstarter. It's going to end in X amount of hours. Do you want to back it? And people start coming through.
Oh, okay. I was wondering how that worked. Like, do they like just put you on the top of the page or something? And I was like, yeah. But this Kickstarter, I was actually on that like hot list thing, which last year I wasn't at all, and this year
Nice.
I was, and I was like, that's awesome. That I was on there for like as long as I was, and because we got like $1,000 in the first day, which was the best that we've ever done in Kickstarter.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like,
What's your goal?
2,500.
Oh wait, yeah, that was our goal. Yeah. Yeah.
I think the exact amount was like 2,502. I think it is.
And we put like a big enough buffer too, because
Yeah.
like international shipping, because I wasn't going to do international shipping. And then there's enough people that are like, I want the physical copy. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm getting like 2 or 3 at least international customers on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't think people would want to pay $25 to ship a book. I'm like, all right. I mean, you pay for it, I'll send it. When I first started, I was like, nobody in China is gonna want this.
Yeah. Last Kickstarter, I got a girl in Finland. My friend Dylan, that's on our website. That's Creepy Trees. That he does like horror comics. That's in Ireland. And then there's a guy in the UK, and then there's a guy in Spain. And the guy in Spain found our Twitter and everything, and he's like, "I got my comics finally." I was like, "Oh, okay,
Nice.
cool." I'm like, yeah, that took like forever. I'm sorry, because like Corona didn't let me send them. So.
Yeah, like for Ruby, I had one in Australia, I had one in Canada, I had one in the United Kingdom, and I want to say I had one more somewhere else. But I was like, how are you guys finding my work?
Yeah. Is there like a secret site that I don't know?
Yeah, international Kickstarters. Hey, check this out, type of thing. Like, what? And what is it that's making you want to buy the physical copy? I mean, if you want to get the digital and you're in the UK, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
You can just download it right there. But you're like, I'm gonna buy this $5 comic, and I'm gonna throw on an extra $20 or so to ship it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Hey.
it's gonna get really expensive when like our graphic novels come out, because like the Seer Chronicles is a graphic novel trilogy. So the first story arc is like 12 issues. So all 12 issues in one book, that's gonna be a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the weight on that.
Yeah. So, and it's probably be a hardcover thing, because that is just pretty cool. That I don't know who does that yet, but I'll find that out.
If you want to, one of the creators here in California that I follow, her name is Melissa Pagalica. Hold on, my son's talking to me. What? That's cool. Anyways, she did a webcomic for a couple years, and then she did a Kickstarter to print it out, and she got enough to actually get it printed as a hard copy. And it's a thick book. It's about almost 200 pages. So
mine is gonna be a lot more than 200 pages.
Well, I figured 12 issues, 20 pages, you're looking at like 250 roughly, 260, somewhere around there. I'm assuming you're throwing like behind the scenes stuff.
Probably that. By that time, yeah, because like the fighting scenes that we're doing, like the action scenes, we're actually like choreographing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm not. Dylan is, because he's like the martial arts dude.
Okay.
And he's gonna just beat the shit out of his brother. I know.
Sounds like a normal day.
And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Just videotape it for the artist.
You
like,
got insurance, right?
Yeah. And yeah, because like when he was living here, because now he's in Nashville.
Dylan is?
Yep. Yeah, he moved to Nashville like last October, and then wow, it's almost a year. And then he's gonna move to San Francisco at some point.
Why?
He wants to live there. That's his.
Again, why? Dude, I'm from California. I've been here my entire life. It is so expensive to live in San Francisco.
Oh, he knows that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still San Francisco that he wants to move to. But
okay.
He wants to actually get enough money from like all the businesses that he has, that he'll have a house in Nashville, because he likes Nashville that much, he wants like a house or something in San Francisco, and then he wants like something here in upstate New York. So
Okay.
I'm like, oh,
Wow.
okay. Like I would like my
A house.
business. Well, one, I would like a house. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
I've been mentioning that like way more now, like to everybody. I'm like, I want to like pay my debt off and then also start saving to actually get a house because I don't like living in somebody else's building. Like
Yeah.
this is just like a flat type situation, and the landlord's like the nicest landlord I've ever had or anything. But um, I want like a patio and like a grill and stuff, and I can't do that here.
Yeah.
And I want a kitchen that's bigger and has a dishwasher.
No dishwasher so far?
I do not have it. My girlfriend is the dishwasher.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't do that.
Okay. Okay. That works for you guys.
Yeah. I can watch some stuff, but like
You're not good at it?
no, like something was still greasy today, and I actually watched it, but she's like, oh yeah, it had like coconut oil or something on it, and
Oh.
it was still like disgusting. And I was like, I can't even fold laundry, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think most people can fold laundry. Like I've never met anybody that can wash their laundry and fold and put it away in the same day. That's impossible.
Well, yeah, I can definitely wash it.
Yeah, wash it, sure.
And I don't separate it like most people do, like the colors and all. Like I just put everything in there.
Okay.
All color, all
You just
clothing things are equal. And then
throw caution to the wind and just be like, fuck it, right?
Like if it's white, if there's a white and pink thing, it just turns pink. I don't care.
Huh.
Or whatever, red.
You're never washing my clothes, just letting you know.
Yeah, so I would like a house. So that's the goal. And I would like our business, like an actual building for our business, to be in New York City somewhere. That's just like a thing that I have as a goal.
Like in the heart of the city?
Somewhere near New York City, like in New
Okay.
York City somewhere,
Okay.
like where Gary Vaynerchuk has, like, I don't think he's like literally in the heart. It's like Hudson Yards, which I have no idea where that is, but that's where his company is. And if it was like somewhere over there too, that's completely fine. As long as like someone that goes to like works there doesn't get mugged on their way there, like to their house, then it's fine.
Wait, DC and Marvel, they don't have offices in New York anywhere, right? They moved everything to California.
Yeah, I think everything's in California. And I
So
don't want. Well, I could do it in California. Well, he wants one of the branches to be in California.
You guys have big plans, dude.
Oh yeah. Like, because I was talking to the guy that does Milky last year, and I remember because I was like, he just wants to like have the comics, the Milky comic, for like when he was a kid one day, and be like, look, I did this. And I'm like, I want a building, and he's like, oh, I don't really care if I have a building. And I was like, I would like a building to like, because it's not going to just be for our stuff. We're like doing obviously animation and other stuff too that we want to do. But it's going to be like a co-working space. I guess that's what it's called. So like other comic book people or musicians or whatever can come to that building and like do their own stuff.
Yeah. That's very generous of you to think about others and help yourself at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, because I read a book that's the guy that made Pixar, and I like how it's described in his book on like how he manages people and how like the workspace is there. It's very like people can decorate their cubicle or their little work area like however they want. Yeah, and it had like a Google kind of feel to it, so I'm like, yeah, I would definitely do that. With like how you could just. Do you ever see the show Silicon Valley?
No, I did. I've heard of it, but no, I didn't see it.
So funny.
Yeah.
But I still have to see the last season. But there's a company that's basically the Google company in there, but like they're evil, and it's called Hooli or whatever, and they have like a cool kind of building situation, like workspace thing that they all have. So that's kind of what I want out of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, those are. Those are goals that I would love to have.
Yeah.
I'm starting small though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
But no,
I
man,
just want my comics out. Yeah.
Just get out there, and then hopefully it takes off, and then maybe who knows? Who knows what it'll lead to?
Have you been getting a lot of friend requests on Facebook?
All the time. I think I get like 5 to 10 a day.
Yeah, I'm now getting a lot, and I don't know who I'm now friends with that everyone wants to now add me. It just started when my Kickstarter launched. I don't.
That happens because everybody sees you sharing your stuff, and they're like, "Oh, what's he doing? I want to be see what he's doing."
Like, there's like 3 or 4 people from like Nigeria. I'm like, I don't know who you are, but you're friends with like a lot of people that I know, so I guess I'll add you. And then
notice that Nigeria is pumping out a lot of artists.
Yeah, and then there's one guy that was talking to me that was like, I shared the link to him, and he's like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Comic book." And he's like, "Can you explain comic book?" And I was like, oh. And then I said it, and then he basically got the dictionary definition of comic book and said it back to me, and I was like, "That's basically what it is, yeah." And then he just stopped talking. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like,
you disappointed him.
I'm sorry. Sorry that I'm trying to give you a book of pictures and words.
He thought you were an actual novel writer or something.
I was talking about that to Chuck last night. He's like, my mom was like, his mom like finally was like so proud because he showed the cover of like Essence House to her, and she's like, oh, "You're finally like an actual like novelist." And he's like, "What?"
Yeah, he's like, "Do you not know how many books I've been in, bitch?" Chuck effing Pino.
I like all those memes too that you have, man. With the, I could totally make that into like any meme. Like,
oh, I have so many already pre-made. I'll probably put a couple later on tonight. It's just such a serious look he has. It's like, I don't know if you're trying to be sexy or serious, but it works.
That definitely would go on the back of like Essence House or something.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like taking pictures of myself. I don't do that. I take pictures of my food so people can be like, "Oh, good, he's eating. He's already fat, but let's, make sure that he's eating."
I just gotta take a picture of it. Doesn't mean I actually ate it. I just pictured it and threw it away.
Yeah, like, oh, this is bad. I actually did that one time. I took a picture of some keto thing that I made, but it was like a meal kit type thing, and it was disgusting because it was one, I don't like mushrooms, and for some reason I made the mushroom thing and it came with, and it just tasted really bad, and it was all over the pork chop, and I was like, well, now I'm gonna order like 5 Guys or something. So.
All right.
Yeah.
At least you weren't hungry. I'm pretty sure after that.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I know going keto you still feel hungry sometimes.
Yeah, I still ordered keto, but like it sucked because I couldn't eat the fries
and eat the bun.
I don't really care about that anymore. Like I ate bread for the first time in like forever, like actual bread. I ate like I've been eating McDonald's recently because it's near my job. So before I get to work, I go there, and it's very bad for you, I know, but like I have to stop. Like I find a way to stop doing that. I actually said that to Chuck, and he's like, "I don't think you're fat." And I was trying to stand up, but there's not really much room here, so I can't stand. I was like, "Well, I'm like big enough that I don't want to be this big." He's like, "Oh." But like I can't do keto because I can't do it with anybody else. Nobody else wants to do it with me. And there's like a guy at work. Nah, like my girlfriend is already like a twig. So like if she does it anymore, she'll be like a walking stick. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And like I could do Matt Myers that has the Marbles the Cat thing and other stuff. He was doing keto and he lost like a lot of weight, I guess. And I'm like, oh, I could technically do it with you, but then he doesn't do it all the time, and he can't afford it right now because of everything. So, yeah, and I definitely can't afford it now because I have to pay artists.
Yeah, artists have to eat too.
Yeah, like I'll starve so I can pay for this.
Aw, that's very nice of you. Artists appreciate that when you're willing to pay their bills.
Yeah, because Adam Fields, the guy that's doing scales, and he did ink. He's like, it's happening. He messaged that earlier today. I'm like, what? And he's like,
Just randomly said it's happening.
he's like, it's happening. Scales is. I'm finally doing scales. Like all the roughs are done, and well, I already knew that, and I showed those off to people, and he's like, now I'm gonna actually start working on it, and I was like, yay.
Nice, dude.
So, yeah.
At least you're not like terrible. Was that Terrific Productions and just screwing artists over? Yeah. Yeah.
So the artist that I had last year, I didn't really have like a falling out with him. It was more of just like I just stopped talking to him because like I didn't need work from him, and like I would still like ask him to maybe do something, but like I wouldn't have him do another comic just because, unless if it was like edited and maybe like try him again, but not for like anything that I have now. Just because of the language barrier and everything that really is what did it. He was from Brazil, so.
Yeah, that's where the artist for Donna Lane is from, actually, from Brazil.
Oh, but like you guys could probably talk better. I don't know. Like I was trying to talk to him and like he wasn't communicating as well as I was hoping it was gonna be, and so that's why I got Dan Gorman and Sean for Serial Chronicles, and then I got Sean and Adam for all the solo series that we're gonna be doing now. Okay. So yeah.
Nice, dude.
Yep. So now I have teams and the same letterer and colorist until I die or whatever happens.
Until you blow up and then you can hire more people.
Yeah.
Even better creators.
I was trying to make it so I could hire people to do things I don't want to do anymore already, but I'm not there yet. Like writing, that's the one thing I'll do. But like there's certain things like uploading a video to YouTube. Like doing this is fine, even though I barely talk. Except right now. I'm talking.
Yeah, you talked a lot, dude.
If I know the person.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I interviewed Jeff Weber yesterday. That's the first time I ever talked to him. Ever. Like I talked to him on Facebook, but like I didn't talk to him like this before. Sure. So wasn't comfortable really. And I was like half asleep because I woke up. I did the first recording. I was like 19 minutes late to that one. I was like, I'm so sorry. And then when I did, and then his was right after that. And then I was like talking, and then like we started talking about like magic and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay.
Magic the Gathering?
No, first I said that because when he said magic, like he likes magic. I was like, Magic the Gathering or like magic. He's like, oh, like the actual like the.
He's all like David Copperfield.
Yeah, and he's talking
David
about that,
Blaine.
and I was like, yeah, I used to watch like Mind Freak and all that stuff, and
yeah.
And he's like a magician. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then we were talking about video games and everything else. And I was like, I could talk about video games forever because I have one.
Have you actually started playing it? Like,
nope, but anytime I see anything, I say, that's awesome. And like I was trying to make like a mini series for that. Or like it wouldn't be a podcast. It would be this podcast, the same podcast, because we have another one. But it was gonna be me sharing the screen with my friend Scott that's developing it, but when I did it the first time, it's just a shared screen of watching him doing work in Unity and showing things to me, and all I'm saying is that's cool the entire time. And
you're like awesome
because he doesn't talk, he like barely ever talks, and he's like even quieter than me, and so he's like talking. And then I'm like, that's awesome. So that's all you hear the entire time. And I was like, no one's going to want to listen to that. They're like, what is awesome? Then they'll have to watch the video. And they're like, it's just like video game stuff. Like, it looks cool. Well, I think it looks cool because it's my game. But.
Did you and Dylan do a podcast with him before, right? Like an episode with him?
Yeah, that was one of the episodes. And
okay, I think I remember listening to that one. And you're like, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, because he was just explaining everything as you guys, and I was like, "Oh, okay. What are they looking at? Describe it to me."
Yeah. So I was like, "Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that as like a series or anything. Like, there is the YouTube version on our YouTube. But,
sure.
like not everybody's gonna do that or go to watch that.
But you could go back and do like a documentary style. Maybe
Yeah,
he could do like screenshots or videos
Yeah,
replay, and you guys could just describe what's happening.
Like there's gonna be the gameplay trailer, which will be the Kickstarter video, and then there'll probably be like a video after, like some content of video after the trailer, and it'll be like us explaining like why you should back it or whatever. Because we didn't talk in this Kickstarter video, which I'm surprised people watched. As boy, it was cool, but like most people, it's known like more people donate or back if like you are in the video, and I'm like I just didn't. We didn't do it. And Dylan's like, I'm not gonna do that. And we did it kind of last minute, like everything, and that was Dylan's fault. Because he
always blame Dylan.
Yeah. Well, he's busy with his business and then he only works with me on things, usually on Sundays. And then he's busy with his brother's like music producing business, which is the most thriving one right now, because that's music, I think, is a little easier to get in front of people.
Sure.
Plus, it's rap. Like, that's the most popular genre of music, even though, like, I'm not a big fan of rap.
You just haven't found the rap that speaks to you yet. There's so many different variations. You need to just listen to different ones.
I like the guy that I had on my podcast, and he's around this area, and he actually has his own superhero vigilante character in my comic.
I think I listened to that episode, actually.
Yeah. Mike Laney.
Yeah.
And he comes out with a new song like every, couple weeks. So like I promote that at any time, but now I don't promote it on our Sierra Nova Instagram. I promote it on the Indie Revolution thing that I'm going to actually do more on at some point.
Why don't you have him do like a theme song for you?
He could. But like also Dylan's brother could also do that for us. So it's
like my nephew on my wife's side, he actually, because I'm trying to get a podcast going, and it's just what it is. It's just going to be short stories of my creations, and I just do like how they used to do with like over the air stories, back in the day. I was just going to do that, read it off, and put some special effects into it. But I was like, dude, you make music. Can you just make me a 30-second intro for my podcast? He's like, Uncle, I got you. And within like 2 days, he had music already made for me.
That's awesome.
He's like, what do you think of this? And I listened to it because he sent it through Facebook, and I was like, this was perfect, dude. He's like, thanks, Uncle. I was like, I'll give you credit once I finish everything. I start launching it. I'll credit you for doing the music and everything. He's like, you'll have to.
Yeah.
I was like, still going to.
Yeah, like the guys that are on our website, Covenant Comics, they have their podcast, and I'm one of the like 7 people that watch it on YouTube. And
1 to 7.
And they have like a theme song like right in the beginning, and it's like circus kind of theme, which is hilarious.
Nice.
Like they have nothing to do with like circus or anything, but it's just a cool theme song that they have. It's like and then
at least it gets your attention.
Yeah, it's really loud because I'm like, oh my god, the speaker's really loud. I'm trying to watch this at work.
There's nobody around you. You're fine.
That's technically true. Yeah, so people are like, what do you do as a job? And I'm like, I watch YouTube. But nobody knows I watch YouTube.
Unless they watch this episode, then they're going to know now.
Oh, well, yeah. Which nobody at my job does anything that I'm like there's this one kid, well, he's really annoying, that I work with. Like, he's the only person that I'm not a fan of at that job. And everybody has those kind of people at a job. But
sure. I call them my kids.
Well, I want to do this full time, and then I won't. The only thing that I won't like is the cat. That's the only. There won't be another person here, so that, like, I would not mind. Except the ghost in the corner, but.
All right, this is getting too freaky for me. I'm gonna log off. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, so this guy at work, he just like bullshits all the time, so nobody likes him because he just says he knows everything, And
Oh.
he doesn't. Yeah, he's like that. And so the one guy that I'm friends with at work, Tony, he was talking to this guy out in the front lobby because that's where the armed guys sit. And
the armed guys? Oh, the armed guys.
armed,
Oh,
armed.
oh.
And
I was like,
they're just
there's
sitting
just
out
guys
there.
with arms.
Yeah, they just. I don't have arms at work. I take them off. And and
Sorry.
and the bullshitter dude was like talking about sharks like all week. I don't know why. Maybe it was Shark Week last week or 2 weeks ago.
I was gonna say it's supposed to be Shark Week on Discovery Channel. Is that what it is?
Maybe. And because I was watching like Edward Scissorhands or something, and then he was talking about sharks, and I'm like, this has nothing to do with sharks.
Yeah.
But so he was talking about sharks, and he's like, and then Tony's like, yeah, there's like 100 different kind of species of sharks or something, and then the kid that's really annoying is like, yeah, there's like 374, and I was like, okay. So then Tony told me that, and then I looked it up like the other day, and there's 1,000 species of sharks, and there's like a new species like every year or something. I was like, he doesn't know shit. Yeah, I think people like that are annoying to me. I ignore most everything, but he's very hard to ignore. I even like do this. He's like sitting over here. I'm like doing this and hiding my face and just looking at
trying
the
not
TV.
to make eye contact or
And
anything.
he just keeps talking. And like 2 weeks ago on Wednesday was his birthday, and I remember that because he kept trying to get that into my head, like I was going to buy him something or something.
He was hoping you were.
He wanted me to make buffalo chicken dip for him because I guess that's a thing people like that I make. And he doesn't even like my buffalo chicken dip because he says it's too hot. And all I do is put red hot sauce in it, like sponsored by Red Hot Sauce. But
Someday. No.
yeah, maybe. But yeah, so I put just the regular hot sauce or whatever, and he's like, yeah, you got to use the buffalo one. And I was like, what? Well, no, I'm not going to make it special just for you. So I didn't do that. And he's like, it's too spicy for my stomach. He's like 31 or 2 years old. I'm like, do you have like a stomach ulcer or something? You're only like...
Sounds like a little kid, dude.
Yeah, he's very childish. And I can act like that, but he's different. But yeah, I can't deal with him at work. But the job is like okay, but I want to do this.
Fair enough.
Then I can do podcasts every day. Not like I will.
Yeah, I was gonna say after about a couple weeks you'll get tired of that.
Yeah, I'm already tired of doing 6 in a weekend, and I'm doing 2 tomorrow too. I'm talking. Well, I was gonna talk to Kevin. I don't even know how to say his last name. I think he's Canadian.
You know.
Kevin starts with an R. He's like part of Behemoth Comics or Studios or something.
Oh, is it Rodetti?
Yep, that. Okay, I can't say anybody's last name.
Okay.
And he was gonna be on the podcast. Instead, he got somebody else to replace him, but it's still part of that studio or whatever. Like, oh, okay, that's fine. And the guy's like, I don't have such a like cocaine personality, like. And I'm like, oh, okay.
All right.
Because I never heard him talk until he just did his video recently for his like video game or comic or whatever that's coming out, Freaks now, and I think that's what it's called. And he's very talkative, and I was like, oh, okay. So
hyper.
Yeah, he's very hyper. So I'm like, I don't know who would talk more, him or Dylan. Like, I would just be sitting here and I'd be like, oh, you can totally talk. Because
it'd be like a 5-hour episode.
The longest episode we've ever done so far is 3 hours.
Wow.
3.5 hours, and I had to cut a half hour out of it. That was it. That's all. I was like, people could watch 3 hours. And I don't even like doing hour episodes, even though it's now 10:15. But
is it? Oh wait, sorry, forgot time difference. I was like, it's not 10. Like wait, it's only 7 o'clock.
Yeah. And but I don't care like if they're so long, but I do for like having people actually watch them, because no one's gonna sit there for like hours and watch something unless if they really care about that person.
Yeah.
So I want to make like shorter episodes, or like do what Catalyst Comics does, and they like split them in two parts. But like I'd never take breaks or anything. Like every other podcast takes breaks and does like, we'll be right back. Here's like a shout out, which I want to do. Like I want to actually do that, but no one ever
Like a
answers
sponsor or
me.
something.
Not even sponsors. Like I keep asking people to do this, and like one person asked me, how do I do that? And I literally say, all you do is send like a video or audio clip of shouting out what you do, like your comic or whatever, or Kickstarter, and then you just send it to me, and then I put it in that video. That's all you have to do. Yep. And then I would like go to a commercial break, put that in video or audio, or I'll just play it when I edit the video, and then yeah, it's very easy that I could do, because Joe Valen does that on his podcast, the Mighty Pen podcast, and
Yeah. You listen to a lot of podcasts.
yep. I still have to catch up on Essence House, but I don't have much else to do at work.
Except for writes.
Right, which
Listen to YouTube.
I wrote the third issue of the Seer Chronicles already. It's got to get edited, obviously, but I wrote it, and it's the longest one that I wrote out of like, well, I wrote the 1,200 page story thing, so that's the longest thing I ever wrote. But this is the longest issue that I wrote before Dylan even comes in and edits it. So he's either going to cut things out, or he's going to add even more. So like, I feel like each issue is going to just get longer and longer.
I mean, as long as you have an audience that's going to buy it, who cares?
Yeah, and I'm like, I know like 2 people that at least will buy it each time. So
it's not a good business plan.
yeah, no. I'm like, well, I know exactly one person to share it to, but that will always get it. And yeah, it's very depressing. Like the third issue is really, really depressing, and people are gonna be like, "What? How?" Because like the second issue is, I guess that's kind of depressing, but it's not. It's more like you just feel bad for the character that you're following.
Okay.
And that's why there's a whole like gambling casino theme on our Kickstarter, because the guy is like a gambling drunk.
So you like dive deep into that gambling hole.
Yep.
That was
yeah. So that's actually literally mentioned in like the third and fourth page. That's actually on Kickstarter right now. Is that, and yeah. So, but talk about you, because this is why you're on here, not about me. I can talk about my comic forever.
What? We gotta talk about me. Why?
Yeah, you got to talk about. I can never say your comic correctly, if it's XOB or if it's like XOB or however you.
Oh, it's just soft, like SAW.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's just soft.
The Light Wielder.
Yeah, going on issue 3. Pretty excited about it, because this is the final portion of this arc, the first arc to her story. I mean, it's an ongoing series, but it's the first arc that's going to involve her battle with Lord Eclipse. And I'm excited because we're doing. It's sort of new for me because I have a new art team. Well, not really a new art team, but a new artist. David Jackson is moving on to other things. He's always busy, and so I decided that I need to get somebody that is going to be there for me more. So I got in Urin Ropa. He's from the Philippines, and I've been previewing some of his artwork, and it's really cool. It's very clean, very, very action oriented, and I'm excited about it. I'm mostly excited at the conclusion of how this issue ends. There's a huge twist at the end that's going to lead to the other upcoming issues. So I'm more excited for that, like the last 2 pages, honestly, than I am the entire book, which is.
Well, I'm excited for reading all of that, because still have to catch up on it. And then I'm excited for the 12th issue of the Seer Chronicles, like the first story arc. I'm excited for this one scene. That's it. I'm excited for this one scene because it's like the end. The end. Well, people are like, wait, there's more? It's a trilogy. There's like, it's like what happens in the end is like awesome.
That's issue 12, right?
That's going to be issue 12, or hopefully issue 12, unless if Dylan like drags it out longer, because he was saying like, oh, we could like drag this out forever. I'm like, no. I got plans.
It said Chronicles. That means more than one. Yeah.
There's the trilogy, and then I have planned like other things after that too that are somehow connected to it. But that's like way ahead of the future. But yeah, the one scene that happens in the 12th issue is just really cool because there's so many. It's super far from now, so I don't care if I say it right now. There's like so many twists and turns within like seconds of each other that I really hope that I make somebody cry or shit their pants from how awesome it is.
Yeah, that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what I'm trying to do with issue 3 for Saw. Like, in this issue, there's going to be 3 deaths of characters that 2 you've already introduced if you read the first 2 issues, and then the 3rd one gets introduced in this issue. And I don't do it just for the shock factor. I'm trying to do it because there's an emotional tie to each of their deaths at some point during the story for Tracy, the main character. So I can get what you're saying, where you're excited for it, because I'm the same way. And for me, all these deaths that I have planned are leading to her growth as a character for future issues, for issue 4, 5, 6, and beyond. I can see, I'm like the same way. I'm like, I really want you guys to see this.
Yep.
Like, I want you to see issues 1 and 2, but this is what I've been really leading up to. So here.
And like I could also, it's not really a spoiler because we changed it, but in the original story, I killed almost everybody in the first story. Yeah.
Oh.
I was like George R. Martin all the way, but like so many people died that Dylan's like, you need to kill this person now. And we have like I got to things like quicker than I should have. So like while he was editing it, he made it obviously, longer and like so there's more meaning behind things. And we're adding characters that didn't even exist before that just make things connect better. Like there's a partner for there's a character that's in issue 2. There's actually multiple characters in issue 2 that were not even planned to be in there. They were just added to make more of a story, not throwaway story. Like literally it's part of the story, but like I didn't have them in there because I just had different people doing different things, and now it's a little different.
Okay. Well, I mean, as long as you're able to incorporate that into the story and make it work, hey, that's fine.
Yeah, so. Yep.
Well, I'm excited for you, dude.
So where can people find you? Not when.
Oh, I mean, you can find me at my website's tauruscomics.com. I am on Facebook, facebook.com/tauruscomics. Instagram and Twitter is at Taurus Comics, so everything's all the same. Don't have to search too hard to find me.
And this will probably be out either before your Kickstarter. So if the Kickstarter is still going, I'll put it in the description on YouTube or whatever. And when I share the podcast, I'll do that. I'm reminding myself in this. And if it's not, then if Donner Lane is coming out, then back that.
Yes, please. Donner Lane will come out. We will relaunch that. That has to get out one way or another. I'm gonna make sure that gets out. But Donner Lane will come back somehow.
Yeah. You said this year though?
I'm gonna shoot for this year. I guess it depends on, because I don't want to launch that until I get at least most of Saw issue 3 done, if this is successful. But yeah, I definitely, that's at least the next Kickstarter I run will be for Donner Lane. whether it's the end of this year or beginning next year.
Yeah, I'm just very busy with doing this Kickstarter, and then right after, I have to make all the reward tiers and stuff for the horror anthology because Matt isn't the best at doing things like that. I use Canva because I'm not a graphic designer, and then
Okay.
that's how I made all of the casino things on ours. And then after I build that Kickstarter and I have to promote that, I also have to start doing things for the video game one.
You're doing a lot of work.
Yep. While also paying all of my artists and starving myself in a corner.
At least you're losing weight because you're starving.
I'm definitely not starving right now, but
Oh, okay.
this episode will be called Starving Artist.
Nice. I'm fat, so I can't say I'm starving either.
Definitely fat. Yeah. I don't think my girlfriend would really like starving. She doesn't eat that much, but
Well, you said she was a twig, so.
yeah, so she can't really starve. Or, I'll be reported.
I don't think that's a thing. I don't know.
I don't know. I'll be arrested for starving her. Maybe that's a thing. That's probably a thing. When someone finds out, why are you starving her?
I mean, unless you're like forcing her not to eat, I don't think you can
I
get
guess.
arrested for
like
that.
just throw her into a closet somewhere.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
Like, hey, no, you stay in here, and I'll
Yeah,
tell
like-
you when to come out. And she's like, no, I want to watch anime and eat. And I'm like, no.
Anime, hey.
Yeah, she watches One Piece. Well, I actually like that show. She got me watching that show.
That is a long series.
Yeah, that's why it's like taking forever to watch it. And right now she's watching. Hopefully I say that right.
Inuyasha?
Yep, that.
Okay.
Can't say any words.
I think it's just time for you to go to bed.
And then I think she's almost done with that.
Okay.
I interrupted her watching that because I'm like, you could turn it down and like, whatever, you can still watch it, just in the background. Just can't be so loud because copyright and stuff, and if like the music or something is heard by YouTube, they're like, we're gonna silence your YouTube video. Yep.
Oh, she's watching it right now while you're.
She was watching it, but then she like just turned it off or whatever. She's either tired or she's reading manga or something. Whatever.
She's mad at you making her turn it down. That's all that is.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, but I think after the 2 podcast episodes that I'm doing tomorrow would make it 46, and then I only have to do like a couple more maybe in November, and then I'm going to go live for the 50th episode, which Dylan doesn't even know that's happening until like I'll tell him tomorrow. And
you're like, hey Dylan, I got this great idea. What is it? We're going live with number 50. We're going live. We should do like a marathon, just like 24 hours of podcast.
I could technically do that. I actually was going to do that for I think the 50th or 100th episode. That's what my plan was like in the beginning of this year. I was like, oh, like if we do enough to get to 100, we could do like a 24-hour live. I could easily stay up for 24 hours. I can't.
There you go.
Some people.
You could do like shifts maybe. Or even during that 24 hours, you can just bring on a bunch of other creators.
Still do that because it could be like a Comic-Con at the same time, but not really. Yeah, I could totally do that. Actually, I'm part of like some indie event thing. I don't know. It's called indie. Yeah, it's indie event, but it's spelled wrong. I think they accidentally spelled it wrong. It's Meredith. I don't remember her last name, and she's with Rob Anderson and a couple others that are making that, and I think that's next weekend. So that's technically going to be a podcast episode because it'll be live whenever that's live. We're going to be talking about whatever we're going to be talking about, probably our Kickstarter or whatever video game. And then I'm also doing another thing next weekend for my artist, Adam. He is having me on, and we're going to, I'll be talking about my video game. I don't know if Dylan will be on that. But yep. Yeah. I could talk about all that stuff forever if I wanted to.
Next time.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for coming on, and I'll stop recording now.
Okay.